I really think that Peyton has a man. She really wouldn't tell us if she does, or she would not confirm nor deny. But I think she has a man outside the show. She's beautiful.
You think?
I think so. And that's why
she
was being glowing, a little coy.
Like she's been, having fun.
Exactly. That glow didn't come from a good moisturizer, honey. That's internal happiness and a lot of water.
Yes. all the. Whoa, let me not. Okay. Whew, moving on. That was going to be very inappropriate.
We like very inappropriate. Hey you guys, welcome back to another episode of Love Really. It's me, Keydra, the entertainment editor at the Tylt, and we have
Dash Cats. How y'all doing?
How y'all doing? I'm so excited to be back for another episode. Oh my gosh, so much happened this week. This episode, you guys, is going to be filled, jam-packed. We have so much for you guys. Let's start with the fact that we spoke to Payton of Temptation Island. I'm so excited.
The queen stays queen. We love Queen Payton.
We spoke to her on IG Live, so if you guys missed out on that, stay tuned because we're going to bring up those clips. She talks about everything, getting her toes sucked on, the alleged threesome, her and Casey's relationship. She really got into it for us, and that interview was bomb.
We also had an interview, the both of us had a Skype interview with the one and only David.
Yes, we got into it with David. Of course, he talked about his alleged hookup with Peyton. He talked about his relationship with Kate, crying Kate.
He talked about his emotional trauma. Mm-hmm. I was out there. I felt like Oprah giving him advice.
Yeah.
Did you get that vibe too?
No,
okay.
that's...
Why was I in my feels? I was in my feels. Like, I like David now.
Yeah, we like him now. David had us in our feeling, but he really had Dash in his feeling. Dash was like, well, did you cry?
I was like, you could get through this.
Right.
I didn't cry, but I was feeling my spiritual gig.
Yeah, he was.
For sure. But David, we love you. And you are messy, but we have to stand anyway. Mm-hmm. So that tea is going to be hot.
Do you know who wasn't crying, who we didn't get a chance to talk to? Omarion. Omarion finally did an interview with Vlad TV. He got into all the drama about, his old bandmates and the alleged allegations going on with their old manager, Chris Stokes. Those allegations were really, really seedy. He got into the whole April and Fizz drama that we've been talking about on the show.
Yes.
And we stand Omarion because basically Omarion is like, I wish them well. As long as I want April to be happy because that means my kids will be happy.
When something affects her, it affects my kids, and that affects me. My kids. But what she does is, live your life. You know what I mean? Live your life. I think people should do whatever makes them happy. I think they should change the narrative, though.
The only little bit of shade he did say was that he wants them to stop focusing on him so much because, it makes their love look less authentic.
Yeah.
But he handled it really well.
That makes sense because it's like, ooh, I'm not on the show anymore.
Right.
Go have your moment.
Exactly.
I'm good over here, which I respect.
Mm-hmm. It just proved why Omarion is the leader of B2K and just like the leader of, I don't know, baby daddies everywhere. Because he just slaughtered that entire interview and we love him. And he just turned 35 and he looks good.
An inspiration to baby daddies everywhere.
Everywhere, which is why I'm an adult now and he's still my crush.
You should slide in his DMs, girl.
Oh my gosh, I will pass out.
Why don't you have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. You never know. Crazier things have happened.
You're not wrong. You're not
Zara
wrong.
Larson got her boyfriend from Twitter.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh.
She deadass tweeted a picture of a guy being like, who is this? I want him. And then now they're dating.
I love that. See? You got to go after what you want in life.
You really do.
Hey.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So shoot away.
Period. Okay. Let's get to the whole Peyton interview.
I'm so sad that I couldn't be there, but I was talking a lot of mess in the comments.
Yeah. Dash was all up in those comments.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of the live with Peyton? She gave us a lot of content.
Hi.
Peyton, hi.
How are you?
I'm good. You look amazing. Peyton needs to get a glasses line going or be an ambassador for I don't know, some glasses something because the whole glasses look with the wavy beach hair she's giving me, classic.
Yeah, she looks amazing. I don't know what you're doing to your hair, girl, but whatever it is post show, it is working for you. You look amazing.
She's serving us Girl Next Door, girl at the store, high school
Librarian,
cheerleader, librarian,
naughty teacher who's gonna give you a detention.
Not a detention. She is. So she was great talking to.
She could even come out with, like some foot scrub since she likes to
foot
get her
scrub.
foot real wet.
Oh my gosh, not her foot real wet. I'm dead. Peyton was like, listen, my foot was just in the right place at the right time, and that's how it ended up in Gavin's mouth. Okay, so let me ask you this. What was going through your head when your toes were in Gavin's mouth? Because
I can't believe he's doing this.
In my mind, I almost snatched my entire wig off. Like, I just didn't know what to do. I'm like, he has this girl's foot in his mouth, and he has a girlfriend, and then he's talking to this girl and that girl. Like, that's her whole foot. Like, he was gnawing on your toes like he never ate before. Like, he was starving. Like,
we were starving. We're on the middle of an island. What do you mean we have nothing but coconuts? I'm just kidding. It was just a lot of drunken fun.
Yeah.
I think a lot of things got twisted a little bit. Like, it definitely wasn't that intense. I never, me and Gavin had barely even had any conversations. I think that my foot was just there in the air, and he was like, yes. No lips, and Sonica won't be mad? Okay.
Right, exactly.
And I'm fine because I don't know how this interview's going.
No, girl, I have my wine too, right here on the side. I totally understand. Mine's is red.
She was drinking her wine, her fee-fi-fo from neighbors. What was going on?
There was a marching band on her roof.
I was like, maybe there's a threesome going on upstairs.
I don't even think he decided. I think that it was just very, very drunk, very just whatever.
It was just a moment.
I don't know if you guys hear this, but whoever is above me is.
Oh. Are they coming over?
I don't know. Whoever is above me is mad right now.
Yes, that was insane. No, that was so funny. She told us why she decided to go on the show, how she auditioned for another show.
So about a year ago, I had put out, I was actually just drunk one night on my phone and saw that Are You the One on MTV was casting singles. And I was like, oh my God, I watched that show. I love that show. Like, yes, I'll be on that.
Yes.
So I put in an application to be on Are You the One? And then, like I said, 10 or maybe even 11 months later, a lady from Temptation Island reached out to me. She was like, yo, we pulled your application. We think you'd be perfect for the show. Like, what do you think? Wow. And I was like, I've never even heard of this. So I'm going to get back to you because I don't know anything about it.
Right.
And then I went and watched a few episodes, and I was like, you know what? My mom always told me if an opportunity presents themselves, then you take it.
Yep.
So I was like, you know what? This is an opportunity for me to go and experience and to meet people that I would have never met before.
Right.
I was like, I'm going to take it. I'm going to do it. And so, yeah, that's just kind of how I landed on Temptation Island.
That it wasn't a threesome?
The biggest thing.
Yeah.
John.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It was not a threesome, you guys. Peyton says that she did not have a threesome. She did not have relations with that man. It was just it was the blackout party. They were They literally blacked out.
Yeah.
And
on brand.
They did a little canoodling, but it wasn't a threesome. Let me ask you, what happened in David's bed? In that threesome scene, Peyton, what was going on? What was going on in your mind? What was going on in that bed?
Oh, God. What was going on in my head? That I just had 40 million shots. That was going through my head, number one.
Right.
Number two, I'm wondering why this man is kissing me when I even said in a previous episode, he asked me, he was like, would you go on a date with me?
Uh-huh.
Of course, anybody wants to go on a date so you can get out of the house and so you can do something fun. So I was like, yeah, I'd go on a date with you, but I'd much rather go with Casey.
Yeah.
My interest wasn't in David. It was definitely just a drunken night, just something that happened when you get to drinking. And, I did not have sex with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have sex with David. I didn't, do anything with Sam. So that is my point of view on that. I didn't do anything sexual with anyone. I did kiss him or whatever, but that was the extent of that.
I love finding out that her and Medina are so close because they're literally like the two stars of the
Yeah.
singles. And I love them both. And like that alliance, like I'm standing.
Who do you think you connected with most from the show, like out of the girls?
Out of the girls, definitely I got to give my girl Medina a shout out. That has been my ride or die since day one. That girl is a true gem. Like whoever ends up with Medina, I'll let you guys, figure out the rest at the end of at the end of the show. So I'm not going to give any spoilers, but whoever ends up with that lady, she's a gem. She knows what she wants in life, and I think that is what is so important. Yeah. Because I'm younger than her. I'm only 23. She's 30, so she has, a few years of life ahead of me. Yeah. So she just knows what she wants, and I think that's so important for a woman, to just know what you want, to go after it. She wasn't scared to go after it, and that made her an icon on the show.
We're going to talk to Medina next. We got to get Medina on the show.
Oh, I would love Medina. We got a spot right on this red couch.
And I can't wait for Peyton to come to New York because we have to talk to Peyton again. I just love talking to her.
Oh, me too. She's a blast.
Love and Hip Hop this week.
Whew.
Your queen got so much airtime, Apple.
Apple was killing it. I'm so proud of you, girl. You are prospering.
Oh my gosh, but you know who stressed me out?
Who?
Uncle Ray stressed me out.
So he's my new favorite.
He stressed me out. I didn't like what you did, Ray. It wasn't nice.
Wait, why? What did he do?
Because this is okay. I do not condone violence, but
Agreed.
When you talk about someone's family, you can't really react. This thing, when you're messy, when you say whatever it is that you say, we're up here, we're talking. We can't really dictate the consequences. You can't give your opinion on things and not think that there are going to be consequences if there are, if there aren't. You cannot spread the rumors that Ocean is not A1's child and think there aren't going to be consequences.
Okay. See, I interpreted it differently.
And then drag the whole gay male situation into it. That's not fair. Like, you can't play victim. Like, you can't talk about someone's child. That's a very serious accusation. That'll break up a whole family. And then to say, well, I'm just repeating what I heard. Well, honey, that's why consequences.
Oh. It's such a complicated issue because, like, if you talk about someone's family, you expect to get slapped, honestly. Even though violence is never the answer when it comes to family, like, these hands are E for everybody. And
equal opportunity.
Exactly. With that being said, I feel like it was kind of a punk move to attack somebody like that. Like this big, bolioli,
not boli,
like, adorable, like, black gay man, like, and he's like this big, tough muscle guy, and he's gonna physically attack him. Like, come on. I'm
sorry. I only feel bad because that's the second time Ray got slapped. Because, Zell was, like, 2 seasons ago, Zell slapped Ray. And at the reunion, well, he didn't slap Ray. He sucker punched Ray. Like, but that was a brawl.
My whole thing is don't sucker punch somebody. Like, if you're going to square up,
yeah, he didn't square up.
What's good? Like,
the same thing with A1. He didn't square up. He really
How could A1 not square up with his ass when it's already an unfair fight? Like, I'm sorry. If you have a problem, be like, get up.
Get up.
You talk about my kids, what's good? But you sucker slap this man, like, it's whack. And, like, yeah, the boy was being messy, but everyone's been messy. And where was that energy with everybody else?
That was whack A1.
That's
you didn't
weak.
slap last season. You didn't slap any of those people, and they all have been dragging you and your wife, and you never said anything. But
so now the easiest target.
Literally, Mr. Ray wasn't gonna clap back. You saw what he did.
He did.
Oh, he did with that juice. But Apple was in the middle. He knew Apple would have his follow-up.
Not when Apple said, I'm soaking up all the juices.
Right, yeah.
Apple. I'm an Apple stan, like dead ass. Oh, she's such a queen.
She is. No, but that is a really good point, is that he didn't hit anyone else, and now all of a sudden he wants to hit on Mr. Ray. That wasn't nice. But the way Mr. Ray fell off that couch, he was like...
He was shook. Yeah.
Like,
poor thing.
So I'm glad that he got him back and threw that juice on him. But, yeah. And Apple is back.
Apple is back. And next week, it looks like she's going to get in a fight. So I'm just nervous for my girl, and I hope she whoop some ass if it comes down to
Apple
it.
snatched that wig off.
Oh wait, oh my god.
And it looked like it hurt. Like you could tell she probably had just did the gots to be glue right here, and then like, cause that's how you do the good way when you use the gots to be glue. And like, you know, I know I have mine in my bag, and then you know you push it down or whatever. She's probably blow dried it so it could stick. Because when she ripped that thing off, that thing was didn't come off easy. Yeah, remember when Cardi B ripped off her wig on Love and Hip Hop a couple of seasons ago?
I don't remember.
Oh honey, that was a moment.
I'm gonna take your man. Do that. You can have him. No, go for real now.
That was a good moment. Shout out to Apple for that. That was a good TV movie.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we finally spoke to David, Threesome David from Temptation Island. It was amazing. He couldn't come in to the studio with us. He couldn't come here to talk to us, even though he's from Jersey, but he claims he was at a work thing. So we let David slide and we spoke to him via Skype. The interview was juicy. He answered all of our questions basically about whether or not he did have a threesome, what he's doing with Crying Kate, and what we can expect from the rest of the season.
Yes, absolutely. It was a blast. I felt like I was in therapy with David, like for real. Like he seems like he's had a lot of emotional trauma from the show, and I don't blame him. His story arc has been messy, and I feel like he's probably gotten a lot of hate.
Yeah.
I feel like he has a good heart. He's just, you know, he's growing. He's a growing man who has little F-boy tendencies.
You have so much more sympathy than me. I did feel for him a little bit, but then when David opened his mouth to tell us that he asked Kate to go on the show, initially, he brought this up and then had the audacity to say, I don't think 1 month of, you know, whatever can determine a whole relationship. You know what? I'm not going to explain it to you. I'm going to let you hear this nonsense. I mean, I'm going to let you hear his testimony. Just roll this clip. So thank you so much for taking time to talk to us.
No, of course.
David, so tell me, what inspired you to go on the show in the first place? How did that even happen?
I was visiting one of my friends and he was like, dude, you got to watch this show. And I'm like, what show? He's like, Temptation Island. I'm like, honestly, man, like, cause I'm not a big reality TV guy. Like I watch more like Netflix sort of things or sports.
Yeah.
And I ended up binging the entire season over like 24 hours.
Oh my God.
And I just got so into it, you know?
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of similarities in kind of everyone's relationship to where Kate and I were at that point. So then when I went back home, that was a really difficult conversation to have with Kate to say, hey, by the way, like, have you heard of this show? I think we should go on it. So that's kind of the background. And I was the one that brought it up to Kate. And so it's all on me at that point.
Wow. Like that is incredible. Tell me about that night that you went home. What did Kate say? Because Kate, I love her on the show, but Kate's like a crier and it kind of stresses me out a little bit, to be honest, because she cries so much. What was her reaction when you said, let's go on this show? Did she cry?
I think there was crying involved. I don't fault her for the way that whole conversation is a weird conversation to have. Like the amount of people that have that sort of conversation is like few and far between, you know, of, hey, let's go on a reality TV show to try to fix our relationship. So she was definitely emotional. I don't know how I was feeling, to be honest. I do remember it was a really difficult conversation to have. And she looked at me like I had 10 eyeballs when I first brought it up to her. Yeah. And I don't know. I guess the rest is sort of history.
Cool. Now, you know, there was this one infamous scene, David, that we obviously have to ask you about. It was a scene, I don't know if you remember this scene, but it was you and Peyton and Sam, and there might have been like a bed situation. From the viewer's point of view, it looked like there was like something that went down with all three of you guys. What happened that night?
Yeah, so that was what we called the blackout party.
Yes.
For a couple of reasons. Basically what happened that night, I got extremely drunk. Everyone got extremely drunk. I went and took a shower with Sam. Nothing more than that. Like we didn't do anything. We didn't kiss. Nothing. Obviously you guys would have seen that. Yeah. I went into the bed with Peyton. I went into bed with Sam. They were both naked. Peyton and I hooked up. We just kissed, and then she left after I said, "Where's Casey?" Yeah. And then Sam and I went to bed. So I've said it a lot, like on the show, or excuse me, on social media. Like nothing else happened. Like I didn't even kiss Sam that entire night. I know that sounds super weird. And people are like, oh, I can't believe, no, I don't believe you. And it's like, well, if I kiss Sam, like, why would they not show me kissing Sam? That doesn't make any sense.
That's
like
true.
they're showing me in a shower with her, but they're not going to show me kiss her. Like it doesn't make sense. Or they're like, oh, you had sex with Peyton. Oh, you had sex with Sam. Oh, you had a threesome. It's like, well, they showed Ashley and Ben last episode allegedly not having sex, but it looked damn close. So there was something that happened that they showed, right? And then Ashley and KB, like they clearly show them having sex. So it's like, from my point of view, I'm like, well, if it happened, you guys would see it. Like, why would they not show that? That makes for the TV, all that bullshit, you know?
Right.
Absolutely.
So,
especially
that's
on
my take.
Where they show the most scandalous moments, it almost sometimes seems like they're trying to set you guys up for failure because they're showing the most messy moments absolute possible at this bonfire.
Right.
So
Totally.
it's like, damn, yikes.
I know that we spoke to Peyton and we obviously asked her about the infamous night. She also said the exact same thing, that like, you know, nothing really happened. She just says that one of her like biggest regret was the kiss that happened between you guys. So what do you think about that?
Totally. I think everyone regrets that night, and I think that we all understand like there was no emotion behind any of that stuff whatsoever. Obviously with Peyton, like she's all about Casey. So her and I, to be honest, I think her and I had like 2 conversations. I think up to that point, if I remember right. And like one of the conversations was like at the mixer the first time. Otherwise we didn't really talk all that much. So the fact that all that stuff happened without emotion, and obviously we were extremely drunk. I mean, Gavin was like eating a foot. So
Gavin ate the whole foot. Like, what were you thinking when he was toes deep?
I honestly think I remember I looked over and I saw him like nibbling. And then I was like, he's not going to do what I think he's going to do. And then he put the whole thing in his mouth. And that's when that's like one of those moments where you're so drunk and you look at that and you sort of sober up for like 2 seconds. And then you kind of like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? It almost sobers you up temporarily. Yeah, that night was.
Gavin was
night was wild.
He was very hungry.
Yeah, I don't think he ate. I think he skipped a meal that day.
So, and Peyton, the fact that Peyton was making out with you, getting her foot ate, and then crying over Casey, we love a messy queen personally over here.
Yeah, we love
That was crazy. Yeah.
That was insane. So after this incident, we see you get very emotional. Like, did you think at that moment where you like, my relationship's over? Like, did you think that was it?
Yeah, I mean, I woke up the next day and Sam obviously left my room like right away. And I had like quite a while where I just sat there and was just like piecing together what exactly happened that night. And I'm just like, I literally was, I don't know what the right word is, but I felt so, when you're on that show, like you feel lonely a lot, you know, because you don't have like any sort of person to talk to. You don't have friends, you don't have family, you don't have anybody. So you feel lonely in itself. But then when I woke up in that bed and I'm like, holy like I just went against everything that I said I was going to do. She's going to see this at a bonfire. Like my whole family's going to see this. Her family's going to see this. The whole country's going to see this. Like those are the thoughts that go through your head.
Wow.
And I just kind of sat there and I took like a lot of time to reflect. And I remember I went outside on my little patio thing or whatever. And I sat there for a long time and just like reflected on like what the I actually did. Yeah. It was a huge thing because I honestly like I can't even remember the last time I cried before that. And I was talking to my dad the other day when he was watching and he was like, holy cow, like you actually cried. Like this is crazy. And he thought it was a good thing because it was like growth, you know?
Yeah.
And then in my crying scene that they show, my hands are like this covering my eyes and people are like, oh, it's fake crying. It's fake crying. It's like, dude, I literally sat in that chair for 2 hours in the blazing sun crying my face off. And the next day my eyes are like swollen. So
absolutely. There is no shame in your tears. At the end of the day, like we're only human. People make mistakes. And if you're feeling something emotionally, it's so much braver to let it out than bottle it up. And it's also a lot healthier. So no shame in that. Absolutely.
Are you and Kate still together?
See, now you're just trying to get me sued.
David, I have to, we're loyal viewers, David. We're watching this show, okay? So we want to get any exclusive, but I get it. But have you spoke to Kate?
I'm gonna have to get you added to the lawsuit as like one of the people that get sued if someone says something.
All right, I tried, but dang, don't bring the law into it. Good Lord. I'm a child of God, David. I'm just saying, don't bring the law into this.
But no, I mean, look, like I said earlier, Kate and I, regardless of what you guys are going to see that happens on the show, Kate and I are always going to be cool. We're always going to love each other, whether that means we're together or not together. And again, I think everyone just has a hard time processing the fact that so much happens in a relationship before, like Kate and I were together for years before we even started filming, what happens in a month, at least me personally, the way I look at it is like, it's not indicative of like an individual or how a couple is like in the real world.
Right.
It's no excuse by any means of like what I did, what anyone else did. None of that. It's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying people just don't understand there's real life before a hell of a lot of it. And then there's a hell of a lot of real life after,
What do you think about the bandana guy rubbing up on Kate's shoulder? That looks pretty intimate.
Yeah, I mean, obviously at that point, I'm thinking she's forming an emotional connection, And for me, I got into it with Mark a couple times, and I think you guys will see it again. It's like he doesn't think that I care about Kate because if I don't show any emotion, because I'm not like the jealous type. So for me, I'm starting to understand, and I was starting to understand at that point what an emotional connection is, and seeing that doesn't make me happy. But then he called me out on it, and he was like, well, last episode, he's like, well, you have an emotional connection with Tanita. And I'm like, well, yes, but at the same time, I'm starting to understand what emotional connection is. So now for me to see that, it's affecting me more, if that makes sense. And obviously I'm not one to talk because I'm doing something on my side too,
Yeah, no, for sure.
I feel like it's so like complicated, and there were so many layers going on because you still do have that love for Kate, but then you are forming this emotional connection with Tanita. So were you like really kind of overwhelmed with all these layers at this point? Like, because there's so many factors going on here? Like, I just feel like putting myself in your shoes, imagining like I would be really overwhelmed.
No, totally. And for you to go at that point, you're a few weeks into it and you haven't seen or you haven't talked to your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yeah.
And you have no one else around besides the people in the house. And that's all you see every day, or all day, every day. Like mentally, it starts to take a toll on you. You know what I mean? And mentally, you start to sort of, I wouldn't say you like lose yourself, but mentally, you just start to process and think things differently than you normally would if you had that normal communication or if you were in like everyday life, So yeah. I know it's hard to say. And again, I'm not making an excuse for anything whatsoever. I'm just saying like, that's how myself, and I know that's how the other three guys, I can't speak for the other girls and then the other villa, but that's how we started to feel, was just like, wow, we haven't seen our girlfriends. We haven't talked to our girlfriends. Now we have these girls, around us 24/7. So your mind just, I don't know. It's like a mind. Easiest way to say it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes total sense. And were you particularly close with one of the guys or one of the singles? Like, who was your closest friend in the villa?
I would just say the three guys. We spent so much time together. If you picked us four guys outside of the show and we're like, hey, you think those four guys are friends? You'd probably be like, I don't know. They're a bunch of totally different backgrounds, But when you spend so much time with them, literally for an entire month straight, you become so close with them, and you go through all of the same shit that they're going through. And so they're really your only level of support. They're really like the only people you have to talk to. They're the only outlet that you have. So it's, and like 30 days of 24 hours a day, I feel like is the same as like 3-6 months in real life. You know what I mean? Because you're literally living with these people and they're around you and they know everything about your life. You know everything about their life. So.
Wow.
I love it. I'm excited, David, for the rest of the season. Thank you so much for talking to us. Dash, unless you have any more questions.
Cool. I have one more question for you, David. You, if that's okay, you expressed
absolutely
that,
not.
So you expressed like that you were worried about like how your family and Kate's family and the people at home were gonna react, because like that's what really matters at the end. Random people who are hating online, like, irrelevant. You know, don't let that get to you. But how has the reaction been from the people that you actually care about in your life, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, I mean, my family knew kind of the gist of how everything went down on the show when I got back, and that's one thing. But then to actually see everything, and again, there's certain conversations that I don't necessarily remember me wording. You know what I mean? So there's obviously stuff that even I don't remember to pass on to them when the show was over. So for them to watch it and just everything that happened as a whole, obviously a hell of a lot has happened with my storyline up to this point. It hasn't been easy. And like my grandma, for example, stays up late and watches this, and she and I had a long conversation after the episode with the blackout party. So it's not easy. And like I have a lot of friends that have reached out to me and just kind of confused as to what the hell's going on. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that didn't really know I was on the show, and I just try to keep it sort of low key. But you kind of just thrust in this light, and everyone that's outside of your circle has a negative opinion, but then even people like inside your family and your friend circle have a negative opinion. So I don't know. It's been tough, but it is what it is. I put myself into this mess. Like, I f***ed up. I have to just own it, and I just have to try to learn from it and become better. And that's all I can do. So.
Well, you gained a supporter, David. I'm here for you.
No, I appreciate that. It was good to talk to you guys. I better be back on at some point.
We shoot in Williamsburg, so we would love to have you on the couch to see, like, how everything plays out.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, David.
Thank you so much, David. You're the best.
Yeah, now I have to figure out how to hang up Skype because. Thank you, guys.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right, you guys, now I'm going to read your results from last week's poll. It focused on love and hip hop. The first question we did, whose side are you on, April or Jess? Remember last week, Jess basically is the one that told Moniece all these messy things about April. So I'm Team Jess. 83% of people.
Wait, I'm Team April. You're Team Jess?
No, I'm Team April. But 83% of y'all messy people are Team Jess.
Why is everyone on her side? That is such a bad friend. Y'all are not loyal.
Y'all not at all. Yeah, I'm Team April. I don't know why I said, because I'm so used to not being Team April. I think I just went with Jess subconsciously. But yeah,
no.
Awful.
Like, if we fall out, like, I'm still not spilling your secrets if we were close. Like,
that's
period.
just not cute at all. Whose side are you on, Zell or Tierra Marie? Was Tierra Marie wrong, the one that goes to the studio with Apple, and not Zell? And was Zell wrong for cussing out Tierra and telling her to get out?
Whose team are you on?
I'm gonna say that I'm Team Zell.
I'm Team T.
I'm gonna be Team Zell. Let's see who's.
Okay.
Everyone's Team Tierra, 56%.
Oh, well, it's pretty close.
Yeah, 56%.
Compared to the last one.
That was crazy. Whose side are you on, Moniece or Fizz? I'm Team Moniece because Fizz does Moniece dirty every season with these different girls. Every season, he gets a new girlfriend. He talks mess about Moniece, says that she's a bad mother.
I was Team Moniece, but like she's being so over the top messy that right now I'm Team Fizz.
You're Team. Oh, really? Okay.
Just in this moment. Oh.
67% are Team Moniece.
Okay. Well, I like both. So.
Yeah, we like both. All right, you guys, that was the series for this week. Go ahead to thetylt.com and you'll see our series for next week. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. Next week is Thanksgiving, so we won't be here. But to keep up with us, go ahead and subscribe, like, and comment so you can keep up with us. And again, I'm Keydra, the entertainment editor here at The Tylt.
And I'm Dash Katz. Be sure to follow along with our personal accounts too, and have a fabulous Thanksgiving.
See you guys.